Surah 80, Abasa. He frowned. Ayat 1-2. In order to establish the divine order, the principle that should always be kept in view is the motive and enthusiasm of the people who are desirous of joining it, and not their worldly status or position. What you should consider is the desire in someone's heart. Why should the one inviting others to this system frown and turn his face away just because a poor, invalid or blind person has come to him for guidance? Ayat 3. How do you know that this blind man cannot become a virtuous man whose personality would nourish and develop? Ayat 4. Or that he cannot understand the teachings and gradually derive some benefit from them? Ayat 5-6. On the contrary, you should not tire yourself for a person who thinks he does not need your guidance and in turns ignores it. Ayat 7. O Rasul, if such a person is not reformed, then it is not your concern and you will not be blamed. Ayat 8-10. But if someone who fears the consequences of an erroneous way of life and wants to save himself from them, comes to you for guidance and you give him a cold shoulder, then you are to be blamed. Ayat 11. As regards the Quran, it should be clearly understood that it is a book of manifest guidance. One can attain dignity and grace by following it. Ayat 12. But only the person who comes towards it of his own free will can get benefit from it. Ayat 13. That is why we have not kept it secret, and have had it written on very honorable pages, so that whoever so desires, can read and benefit from it. Ayat 14. Its teachings aim at producing a sublime intellect and purity of character. Ayat 15-16. And those who scribe it and disseminate it further are highly truthful, respectable and virtuous. Ayat 17. Just think who else could be more prone to self-destruction than the person who refuses to accept such pure and sublime teachings, on the basis that he has a lot of wealth, power and high lineage. Ayat 18. He should at least reflect on the process through which his own life passes and the various means of sustenance we provide to him. Also, he should understand how his creation started. Ayat 19. We created him from a drop of semen and then fashioned him according to a very special measure and scale. Ayat 20. Then we endowed him with the faculties of hearing and seeing and provided him with means of sustenance, so that life becomes easy and comfortable for him. Ayat 21. However, most of them do not utilize these faculties and continue to lie about like dead bodies in graves. Ayat 22. But there are others who adopt the course of life ordained by the divine laws. Thus they acquire the energies of life and rise from these graves. This is just like their physical death and the life hereafter. Ayat 23. Those who live like the half-dead, their state is such that they have never fulfilled the purpose of their creation. All through their lives they chase their own selfish interests and never think about the universal order of Rububiyyah. Ayat 24. Although, if they think about the sources of their food, then they would conclude that human beings obtain their nourishment free of cost from Allah Almighty. Therefore, everyone has a share in it according to his need. They should also think about how. Ayat 25. The rain, upon which the production of crops depends, falls according to our law, not according to their planning or craft. Ayat 26. Man does sow seeds in the land but, then the earth opens up to allow the shoot to sprout according to our law. It is not within man's reach to turn a grain into a sprouting shoot. Ayat 27. It is also according to our law that the grains come out of the crop. And other things, from other crops, like. Ayat 28. Grapes and vegetables. Ayat 29. Olives and dates. Ayat 30. Dense gardens with lofty trees. Ayat 31. And different kinds of fruits and fodder for animals. Ayat 32. All these provisions are sustenance for you and your cattle. Ayat 33. However, a clash becomes inevitable when people turn these gifts of nature into their private property and deprive others. Therefore, when it is time for that clash, the clattering of armor will really be deafening. Ayat 34. The confusion at that time would be such that man would run away from his own brother. Ayat 35. Children would desert their parents. Ayat 36. The husband would abandon his wife and parents their children, and Ayat 37. Every man will have enough of his own worries to make him indifferent to others. Ayat 38. When the decision for the clash is taken, the faces of the group, which had adopted the right course of life in line with the divine laws, will gleam with happiness and joy. Ayat 39. They would laugh and rejoice over their success and achievements. Ayat 40. The faces of those in the second group would be covered with dust. Ayat 41. And be overspread by the darkness of disgrace. Ayat 42. This would be the end of those who conceal from others the means of nourishment gifted by the Almighty, and deny them His bounties and gifts. This attitude splits human beings into schisms, creating disorder and chaos, which is a terrible crime in the divine court. What we desire is that humanity should be one entity, and not split into factions.